When you are in Microsoft 365 Copilot, you see agents here in the menu. I can choose to collapse or expand it. I have a horizontal line here, and what is above are the pinned agents, and what is below is the unpinned. So if you like an agent, then you want to pin it, you can see these two are pinned for me, and the visual creator is not pinned. I can easily change that by simply just hovering my mouse over, saying unpin, and choose pin. But I like both the analyst and the researcher. The visual creator we are exploring in the image generating chapter. So these are agents built from Microsoft, and if we want to inspect all the pre-built agents, you can go to all agents. Here we have our agents. We'll get back to researcher and analyst. Then we have the built by Microsoft. Again, these trees shows up. That's because Microsoft built them for us. But we also have prompt coach or learning coach. In featured and in more agents, we have a lot of agents. Mostly it's around connecting to third-party data, such as Jira, Miro, or Monday. Or this AI meeting notes from Mail Maestro. What you need to know is that those are mainly paid agents. We don't want that. So let's go up again. Let's first go to the analyst. I can click it here. This is our really skilled data analyst. Here I can make it perform advanced action based on our data. This agent specializes in understanding our data. It can apply Python code to get some advanced result. Let's first give a prompt and attach a file, and then I will show you the dataset. If I click plus here and say add content, these are my recent documents in the Microsoft Cloud. I can choose to upload from this device, or as I prefer, click this attach cloud files. These are all my cloud files in the Microsoft 365 universe. So SharePoint sites, OneDrive, meetings, and people. If I go up to my files, I come to my OneDrive, the root of my OneDrive. Now move into the lesson files. You downloaded them earlier. Go into agents and notebooks. Here we have a few files, 2 folders and 2 files. First, we will take the budget spent. So go mark that and click select. And yes, we will inspect it in 30 seconds. But let's first start this agent. Here I say review the budget spent data from the last 24 months based on this forecasted total spending per department for the 3rd quarter of 2025. I also wanted to highlight any unusual trends and generate charts to visualize the historical and forecasted data. So here I just say I want to accomplish this goal and let me hit enter. I don't instruct what tools it should use. So like giving this to a colleague, just fix this and come back with a conclusion. Now the analyst agent starts to work. It documents what it does, and here you can see it applies some very advanced Python code. It reviews the data set. Now it generates the forecast and chart. And while it does that, let us go to the lesson files. Let's just quickly inspect this budget spent. These are our department spent for the last 2 years. For example, in November 2023, communication spent 104,000 and IT spent 76,000 and so forth. We have around 120 rows. So let me close this and let me close the folder and go back here. It's still working. We can see that. So it's still applying code. And now we have it. We have the forecasted spending. We have that in a nice table up here. So here, that's for the next 3 months. Then we have unusual trends identified in each of these. I can also see why they are unusual. Then we have a visualization of historical, and here we have the forecasts here, 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 and here. So these ones are going up and these ones are trending down. We can choose to follow up if we wanted that, and imagine how much time we can save with the Analyst agent. Another agent, and that is probably my favorite, that is the researcher. Here we have a very advanced AI researcher just in our pocket. We can choose to just operate it with words. And here I want to do a market research. So what I can do here is that I can say build a comprehensive and market share analysis for. Here you can choose a company. I go with Lego, one of my favorite companies, and I want to say using. If I say using work and web sources, then it will both use internal sources and external. If I only wanted web, then I should exclude the work here, of course. So what I do here is to send it. Now the researcher will most likely ask me follow-up questions to refine this analysis, so it makes sure that we are on track. You can see here, are there any specific competitors? Is there a specific geographic region? I'm just fine with a general research, so I say, go ahead. Now the researcher will start working. The results from the researcher AI agent will take anywhere between 5 and 60 minutes. Most likely for such an advanced task like this, it will take close to 1 hour. We will see, that will be my best guess. Up here you can see what it does. I can choose to show more, and we can see it organize the analysis, analyzing market shift. So down here we can see what it does. Let me come back in X amount of time. And then it finished. Here we have our Lego market share analysis for the last 5 years with a lot of credible sources, illustrations, and let me show you everything here. This is truly remarkable, very precise. Use it for any kind of research. As you can see, we have a lot of text here, and we also have the sources down here. If I wanted to have it in a document, the document builder here in Copilot 365 is still not good. So what I recommend is to open up a Word document like this, say copy it from the Copilot and paste it in here. Right now we have 30 pages and we also have 60,000 characters in this report. We still might need to move the paragraphs a little bit here and there, but truly impressive, and I just prefer to read the report down here in Copilot. Let us refresh the page and go to the chat again. What I want now is to build my own agent. We do that by clicking Create Agent. Up in the upper left corner, we see that this is Copilot Studio. This is the agent builder platform from Microsoft. They made it available here in the Copilot 365. This is a lightweight version, but it is very, very impressive. Let's first talk a little bit about what we can do here. Here I can describe what I want my agent to behave. I can also configure it, then we need a few more steps. So we'll start in the easy way, and then we'll take this. You might also see a try it up here. If your screen is a little bit smaller, then you have to try it. I have to try it here. So in this UI, I have the builder to the left and the preview to the right. As soon as we update the agent, these changes will show up here. Let's create an agent that can help us with emails. And then afterwards, we want to configure it. So what I want here, I want to say create an agent that acts as a communication specialist that takes an email draft from us and writes a new email with a personal greeting, a friendly and concise message based on the draft, and ends with a professional greeting, and finally suggest an email subject. So here I just describe what I want my agent to do. Then the agent builder here in Copilot 365, supported by Copilot Studio, asks, so do we want a name for this? You can also see it over here. We have the preview. Well, it suggests, how about email rewrite specialist? Well, I can just say confirm. And then I will see that this new agent updates over here. There we have it. I can choose to end it here. Then I can also look what Copilot has done behind the scene, because if I go to configure, here we have the name, the description, instructions. We will get back to all of this when we build our own agent in 2 minutes. We also have the suggested prompts, which are these. I can choose to test it, or I just say create, then it will create my agent. From here, I can share it with colleagues or just use it myself. Here we have it. We have a URL which you can use to access this agent, but as you can see, it also shows up over here to the left. If I click change sharing settings, here I can choose to share this agent with my entire organization, that is my Microsoft tenant, or I can choose to share it with a name or a security group or an email. For example, I can choose to find my colleague Stine and share it with her, and I can even add more colleagues. Let's just stick with myself. Now I click cancel. If I say go to agent, then we have the agent here. Each time I get back to Microsoft 365 Copilot, it will look like this. Your agent will be over here to the left. If you want to make sure that it shows up and you don't have to click all agents, then you just pin it and we have it here. Let's say we have an email which we want to professionalize. I go in here, and if I click rewrite this email, then you can see we have the first part. That was one of the things that we wanted. And then we can just say, hi, Ben, I find your negotiation and act towards me rude. Kind regards. As you can see here, we have a spelling mistake, and we also have a slightly unprofessional email. If I just do that, then the email rewrite specialist will suggest a topic clarifying our recent conversation, and then you will see it rewrites my email to make it more professional. Then let's take the next step, because we want to build our own agent. We want to configure it. Let's again go to create agent. I want this to be an HR agent that can answer HR related questions in my company, which is the Common Sense Bank today. So I go to configure. The first thing I can change is this logo. You will see it shows up here in the agent and also as a little avatar next to your agent over in the menu. I can click the pencil. Here I can choose to just change the color or change the icon. Click here. Then you move into the lesson files, agents and notebooks, the Common Sense Bank, and choose the Common Sense Bank logo, low res, and add it here. We have our logo. I click save. Now you will see it updates over here. Let's give our agent a name. I will call this one the Common Sense Bank HR. We can give it a description. A description shows up under the agent here. It's not an instruction, it's just for the user to see what does this actually do. Here I can say this is an agent that helps employees find answers to common HR related questions, like this. Then we give the instructions. This is how we want our agent to behave. So here, just instruct the agent. What I can say here is that you are an HR assistant who helps employees by answering questions about policies, benefits, and procedures. Always answer clearly, politely, and based on provided knowledge. So this is the instruction. Then we can feed it with knowledge. We have a few options here. We can search in our files and meetings. I can also attach SharePoint sites and chats. And finally, I can upload files or browse cloud files, which is either SharePoint files, meetings, or chats. What I recommend here is not doing URLs or uploaded files. You only want to do that if the data doesn't update. But since this is an HR assistant, then it could be nice to attach Microsoft Cloud files, either specific ones from SharePoint, so if I go to files, I can find them here, or simply just say attach an entire SharePoint site. So once this SharePoint site updates, our agent gets that knowledge. I go to sites, and then I can find the Common Sense Bank, which I have here. You see it shows up here, and let me just show you this SharePoint site. We have it here, and in the documents, we have an FAQ, remote work, vacation, a lot of guides to the HR policy in this company. You don't have access to that SharePoint site, so what you want to do is to upload from this device and go to Agents and Notebooks to the Common Sense Bank and upload these files. I just attached the SharePoint site. Then in the capabilities, do we want to analyze advanced data? That is, do we want to apply Python code? I don't want that, so this is unticked. We don't need to generate images, so we will not take that either. Then these suggested prompts. These are prompts that helps the user get started with this agent. Let's have a prompt about vacation, and the message should be, how much vacation do I earn per year, and when can I take it? As you can see, it shows up here. Then we want one about parental leave. What is parental leave? What is the parental leave policy? Like this. Policy. And can it be taken in parts? Finally, let's just have the third one. We can have more remote work. Am I allowed to work remotely? And what are the core hours? Like this, and let me just fix this little. And then you see it gets updated over here. Here I can test the agent. I can choose to prompt it, or I can ask one of the pre-made prompts. These suggested prompts is simply just, if I click here, you see it shows up here, the message. I can choose to send it, and then it goes a little bit slower than when you operate the agent from the overview, but here we will have an answer. You can see it's based on the vacation and time off policy, and then we have a breakdown. Let's say that it behaves like we want, then we can hit create. This will create the agent. Again, I can choose to review the agent, and do I want to share it? Otherwise, I can just go to the agent. I just need to do this, then we have it in here. I can also choose to pin this, so it's easily to come back, then I can easily switch between my agents. Now let's try to prompt it. I can say, can I transfer unused vacation days to next year? If I do that, my agent works. For me, it will take, it's a little bit slower today, but still, yes, you can take according to the vacation and time off policy. And now we also have the source. So here we can see that we can transfer those, and we have the source down here. So it also shows where is this taken from. It's probably in here, and if I go down here, I can see up to 5 unused vacation days can be carried over. So even though I said, can I transfer, it finally, it's fine understood what I meant. Let me go back to chat, so I will do this. Now we have our agents over here. You can choose to uninstall the agents. Let's say I, for example, want to uninstall the email rewrite here. I can choose to uninstall that. That doesn't remove it. I can get it back, so it does not delete it. It just uninstall it from my Copilot 365 experience. Currently, it's a little bit tough to find all your created agents. Don't worry, just click Create Agent. I know it's a little bit weird. Then you click My Agents, and we have it up here. You can see I have the email specialist and the common sense. So if I want to completely delete it, I click the 3 dots, say delete, and then it will be completely gone. You cannot recover it. Because I want to use this, I will stick with this, and let me refresh it. Yeah. Your next video is around Excel in Copilot 365. Here I show all my tricks, including advanced formulas and writing code with Copilot 365.